a lot of people don't know is that Corpus not only supplies water to industry and to Corpus, I believe they serve 7 counties. They serve 7
That's
counties
right,
around
yeah.
the coastal bend. So you have Jim Wells, you have, San Pat County they serve to, they have Clayburgh County they serve water to, there are 7 county providers. So a lot of people are depending on water from them. Maybe 500,000 to 600,000 people are depending on water from them.
All right, Mr. Ram Alejandro, thank you for joining me in the den.
Thank you for having me.
Good to have you, man. We've been working it out. It's been a busy day and things left and right, but I'm glad you're here. You're spending the day out in Portland?
Yeah, just the evening. Yes, sir.
Oh, sí.
To go check out the new Gaddy, Mr. Gaddy's.
Sí, sabe?
Yes.
That's the area that's growing.
Portland's doing
exploding.
Good. Yes.
Due to what?
I guess I'd have to say industry.
Industry, what we have a way of keeping out of our town, no?
Yes.
Because you're from Robstown?
Yes, I am.
And
born and raised. Well, I guess I was born in Corpus in the hospital, but they brought me home, and this is my home.
Yeah, well, I was actually born in Robstown. I think Wood River or Riverside Hospital was still considered Robstown.
Okay.
So I was born at Riverside Hospital. But yeah, we're talking about industry. When you go out there to GP, that area, man, it's beautiful. It's
nice city parks.
Hardly recognizable from just a few years back.
Yeah.
Would you say that those refineries were a bad thing for Portland?
I don't think so. I don't think I can say no. There's the economy. I mean, they're growing there. They're really
booming,
growing.
Right?
It's booming. Correct.
It's beautiful. Kids benefit from the schools benefit.
Yep.
The people benefit. Employment.
You talk about the kids. You should see the city parks they have there. I mean, they're nice city parks.
How far would you say away would you say those refineries are from the community, actual community?
Not far at all. Some might be in the city limits.
Se mira, no? I mean, you see the neighborhoods, you see the refineries right there. Yep. Does it make it look ugly in any way?
I don't think so. I guess maybe because there's so much new in the town. I mean, new businesses, that Mr. Gaddy's we went to today with, my wife and my little one, or, it was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to say that it makes it look ugly because if it wasn't for that, all that new stuff wouldn't even be there.
Correct.
Right? There would be no need for it. And it, like I said, it's changed in a matter of, just a few years that it's really exploded, which is good. So we had an opportunity. I don't know if this opportunity is still there, but we had an opportunity for industry to come into Robstown. Maybe we've had plenty, right? But we've had Tesla come in, and I think maybe there was an issue with that. Do you know about that water that they were pouring into like a ditch or something like
that? I don't know anything about it. I'm not sure if they had any permits that they were supposed to have or, through TCQ or anything like that. I saw a news article on it, but I really don't know too much about it.
So before we go any further, and the reason I'm bringing these things up is because you're running for board of directors for the Nueces County Water Control and Improvement District 3.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Does that entity oversee stuff like that?
No. So what I believe they were doing was just, I guess, I don't know if it's a brine or just some kind of discharge they had that they were releasing into, I believe, the creek or the ditch there. Yes. So what we do is on Nueces 3, we provide, potable water, drinking water, and we do some raw water for like irrigation farmers and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So you're already with that district?
Correct. I've been with them. I got elected into office in 2018, and I've been there since. I've been elected in twice, and I'm going on my third term.
Oh, okay. So
Yes,
it's just a
sir.
reelection.
Yes, sir. Reelection.
Okay. So, because if I'm not mistaken, I saw in the news when they were talking about that it looked like some of the guys from that yard were kind of either checking it out or they were the ones that spotted it. Or
Correct. I think they were driving by or doing some kind of maintenance out there, and they saw I guess a pipeline, going into the ditch, or
Mhm. I saw the article, and to me, it reminded me of people who get an extension cord for their neighbors and they hook up there.
stealing some power.
Was it that ghetto of a setup that they had?
I don't think
Doing
so. I think they ran the pipeline underground and everything, and
It's legit.
yeah, it was legit. I just don't know if they had. I don't know if they had TCEQ permits or if they just failed to let Nueces, the drainage district, know what they were doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But when I listened to the article, I believe I heard that they did have a permit for a certain amount of water or whatever it was that they were
To be
throwing out there.
released.
But just looking at that stuff that was dropping out of that pipe right away puts you like, what the heck is that?
What is it? Yeah.
That green slime
Yeah.
coming out of. I don't know if you were able to see what it looked like or anything like that.
No. I just saw the article. I think it said it might have been black or something like that,
Black
right? Like
water.
black water or something like that.
And what do you know what water that is or what it's coming from or anything like that?
I don't. I wish I
Mystery
could tell
water.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. So what were they doing about it? Are they following up on it or?
I'm not sure.
You don't-
Honestly, yeah, I'm
okay.
not sure. Yeah.
That's okay. But that was why I was asking, because I wasn't just randomly asking you
Yeah.
about this stuff because you're working in that area. So Tesla's here. Has Tesla been a benefit to the community of Robstown in any way?
I guess I see some of the representatives here, but directly like donations or things like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen any, or I know they come out in the parades and things like that, but I don't know. Maybe a little bit of PR work, right? But I don't know if they've maybe presented some checks to, say, the school or a little league or anything like that. That
Possible.
I haven't seen anything like that.
Possible. It probably wasn't anything notable like they did out in the valley.
Yeah.
I think they were giving they gave $10 million to some of the counties out there.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken, 2 different counties were given sums of about that much.
Wow.
And a lot of beautification.
This community could use that.
It could, and I'm not sure why we're not pursuing that. If we're not, I don't know that we are.
One thing I think that I've noticed, right? You have Tesla, and they're in between Robstown and Driscoll. You had Avena wanting to come in outside of Robstown, between Robstown and Corpus. Calallen.
Mm-hmm.
These industries, I believe they set up right outside of town, so they don't have to pay those city taxes.
Mm-hmm.
If imagine if Tesla was in our city limits, or a company like Avena were in our city limits. Imagine how much they would have to pay in taxes. And that would tremendously benefit the city of Robstown.
And that's understandable. I mean, you're running a company. You're not going to try to
pay more taxes. Yeah.
So I get that. And, Avena got a lot of flack from our community. Were you involved in any of that process and hearing from the people and stuff like that?
Somewhat, yes. So our board of directors, we did approve, we did entertain a contract with them, and we did approve, to sell them water when the lake levels and the river was doing better. But last year we got out of that contract with them, just because of the way the lake levels were going and things like that. And when we got out of that contract with them, we were actually already supposed to be selling them water, but we knew that it was going to be in the best interest of the community to, hey, let's stop, let's cut this right now. Our community, our people come first.
So let me ask you this. So let's just say we were to run out of water, right? And Avena was up and running and they ran out of water, what would they do?
They'd shut down. I mean, we so most definitely we'd shut them down before we ran out of water. You know,
So were they willing to take that risk?
I think so. I think so.
And why? What were they seeing that maybe we weren't seeing?
Well, I think they know that, these droughts don't last forever. They don't last forever, and honestly, they actually had reached out. Hey, we'll help y'all drill some wells. Like, don't end the contract, but you know, we felt that was in the best interest. Hey, let's take care of this community first, and when we get back on track, you know, we'll see. But and another thing was, they weren't where they were supposed to be on the contract. Originally they were supposed to be behind the fairgrounds on the port property, and then you know they come up and pull that location on 1889. We didn't agree to that.
Really?
In neighborhoods. So and I get the people's complaints. I understand it. I live not far from it. So
I was for it. I got a lot of flack
Yeah.
for it, but I was for it because we need industry.
We do.
And sometimes we say, well, we can't have it there because, it's a risk, but not having it is not a risk. It's a reality that
Correct.
we don't have industry.
Yeah.
We don't have anything for people to really make a livelihood off of. They have to go outside of here to get good jobs, unless they're school teachers or they're in some kind of government job. But other than that, they got to leave here to go make money.
And you're right about that. I talked to some coworkers there at the fire department, and they tell me, Ram, I was talking to a firefighter that was my age. He said, Ram, our parents' generation was the last to settle in Robstown. He said, think of it, Ram, how many friends that you graduated with are still here in Robstown? It's like my parents are in their early 60s, and they're like, that's, almost the last generation to actually settle in Robstown. A lot of them, they get up and leave. I'm proud to call myself a, hometown boy. That's what I am, and I forever want to stay here. But you're right. People are leaving, to find work. It's not here.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something about Robstown that makes it a place to be proud of. And we have a negative reputation in some
Yes.
places, but nevertheless, like, we're proud to be from Robstown. There's a lot of great accomplishments that came out of Robstown, and still, even people who have left, they're like, "Hey, I'm from Robstown." And, why that exists, I don't know, but there's something about this place that to me is special. And there's some of us that have stuck around to try to make it better, try to bring back some of its glory, right? But it's a hard thing because we fight against people within our own community sometimes
Yes.
that don't want to see it progress.
Correct. Everyone wants to see it progress, but well, I don't want this, or well, I don't want that, or I mean, sometimes we have to take what we can get,
Yeah.
And like I said, I did vote for it, but I understood, the residents that live out there, I mean, they are living out there because they want to get away from the city. They like the country life. I mean, you like the ranch, you like, I'm the same way, so I understood them, I really did. And that was in the back of my mind after I voted. And then, the water conditions, happened, and we saw on the map where they weren't supposed to be. So it all lined up. And I think for the best interest of the community, and
And that might be so. Like I can agree with you on some of those things. Like I do understand the people, but you're never gonna make everybody happy,
And
no matter where you put it.
and you're right about that.
Yeah. So you're always going to have people like, well, I'd rather it not be here. Yeah, but then that guy over there that
Yeah.
you would be okay with it being,
Yeah.
they're not okay with
Yeah.
it. So you're never going to appease
Satisfy
everybody.
everybody.
So Robstown, yes, people are close to Robstown, just on the outskirts. That they say I moved out here to be in the country, but then the argument was still it's too close to the city.
Yeah.
So which one is it? Is
Yeah.
it ruining your country life, or is it too close to the city? If you get a home, I think that close to the city, then you should have some expectation that the city is going to continue to grow
That's true.
and expand outward. But again, you still understand,
Yeah.
like that way, no, you're going to fight for your thing, but
Maybe they have the same mentality like these corporations or businesses have, right? Oh, we'll move right outside the city limits so we don't have to pay the city taxes.
exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
you know, I mean that could be a factor,
Mhm.
you know, but I get it. And I talk, you know, I talked to some people that were very for, you know, them coming to town and saying, you know, that they have so many safety devices in play. They're like, you can't mess this up. There's not going to be a leak, right?
Yeah.
They cannot mess this up. There's 20, 30, 40 different safety features, you know, into these plants to where human error cannot mess this up,
Right.
you know. But I don't know that. I've never been in an ammonia plant. I've
Mhm.
never set one up. I never walked on one,
Right.
you know.
But they say these farmers in those plains, they spray ammonia
Yeah.
on their crops.
Wow.
So if they're spraying ammonia over our
Yeah.
the outskirts of our town, it's flying into the community.
Correct.
So there was a farmer that was upset about it. And when he got up to ask a question, he wasn't even upset that they were going to do it. He was upset that they weren't going to sell it to them because they were going to be supposedly sending it to China. And I guess he got told, no, we can sell it to y'all too.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't that it's going to hurt our community. It's like, hey, you're not going to sell it to us because those farmers don't even live here. They don't live in Robstown.
No, correct.
You know what I mean? So why were they so concerned
Yeah.
about the community if they're not even from here? I went to that one town hall that I went to there at the fairgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't recognize nobody. Nobody was from here. I was like, who
Yeah.
are these people? Venía gente de San Patricio. Some saying that they're from San Pat. Someone from Portland that they had protested it over there, and now they were over here también. And it's like, what business do you guys have here? A lot of them were from like the Kill Island area. And I was like, I don't know that you guys are not upset because you guys are not receiving any financial benefit from it. The only people that were going to benefit from that was the Robstown School District, tax-wise. And I said, man, y'all got refineries in y'all's backyards. Y'all don't complain about that.
No, they don't.
Because Teloso is benefiting from that. And you know what I mean?
Yep.
Their kids are benefiting. They got best of the best. And acá nosotros los chicanitos, like,
Yep.
but nosotros, we fall for it. They came, they scared us into not wanting it. And the whole town got scared.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you're right.
And, oh no, they're going to poison us all. We're all going to die. But I was doing a little bit of research on theme parks. And theme parks have had more accidents in them, more deaths than ammonia plant accidents.
Wow.
But if somebody said, let's bring a theme park out here, everybody would be excited about it. Yeah, let's do it. It's more dangerous. There's more risk in that. But when you're being scared and people are fear-mongering, plus, they're gonna rile people up, and thought it was a great opportunity to negotiate some things for the town. But
so I mean, and you're right. So us board of directors, when we saw or heard Avena wanted to come and what they were willing to do, not only do we want to buy water from y'all, right? So now they want to buy 5 million gallons a day. We're selling that water. Now our water district's making money, but not only that, they're willing to pay for upgrades to our water plant, that upgrades we needed, and I sat down with our district manager and what are we going to do with all this money? You know, what are we going to do with this money we're profiting? He said, Ram, there's a lot of our infrastructure that needs to be replaced. You know, we have old age lines within the city limit, within our district. And you're talking about 60, 70-year-old old water lines that are in the ground. He's like, imagine this industry pays for all of the upgrades and our citizens pay nothing. We don't have to hike up water bills. We don't have to do no water rate increases because this sole, industry is going to pay for all of that. But wow, you think about it.
Everyone, been beneficial.
Very, very beneficial, and so it's like, and then you hear, oh, y'all sold us out. Like, okay, so do y'all want new water lines? Are y'all okay paying more on your water bill? Because I don't like to have to pay more, and this company was willing to do it, they were, if I'm correct, they were willing to put in like $30 million in upgrades to our system, to our water treatment plant.
Wow.
Yep. Plus, the revenue we were going to make off of them.
Wow.
Yep.
So because it was beneficial to them as well.
Yes.
That our infrastructure was good.
Yes. They were going to benefit. And well, I mean, the water district and the community was going to benefit directly off of that,
But that's when everybody starts getting suspicious. Why are you going to do this for us, right?
Yep.
So I heard, and I don't even remember where, so I don't have to try to protect my sources, but I heard that our water by them had gotten sent off to be tested. And the person that received it to test it was like, hey, what is this water? Like, what is the water that they have? Like, this is not even acceptable. What do you call it? Readings. Like, it's not an acceptable
correct
condition.
Like the water was no good.
Yeah. And they were like, really? So our condition, the condition of our water was already bad. And here they are, they're going to come and not only get it okay, but they were going to get it to an excellent condition.
Well, I've never heard that.
No,
I
heard it from a credible source.
Okay, yeah, I've never heard that.
Yeah,
but
TCQ
does come in regularly to test our water. Now, if it's not good, what they were going to use it for, right? Again, I don't know how ammonia plants work or what quality of water they need, but. I will say they were willing to pay for an RO system, reverse osmosis. They were willing to pay for it,
We missed out. I really believe we missed out.
Well,
la gente no se educa.
And it's just hard because look at where we sit today with less than 10%, of water in the lake,
I'm glad you bring that up because we're seeing that we shouldn't have to be in that situation.
We shouldn't.
Statements were made just yesterday from by our governor, Greg Abbott. And he said, the reason that Corpus Christi is in that situation is because they can't make a decision.
Correct.
And I've been saying that. I've been talking to people on here. I think I talked to Mr. Wright. Jim Wright.
Yes, Commissioner Wright.
And I talked to Tunches. I don't know who else I talked to. People from different places where we discussed the water issue. And I'm like, these people can't make a decision. Make a decision.
And it's too late to make that decision. If they make it now, if they make it next week, it should have been made 2 or 3 years ago. You can't change anything now. I mean, you can approve it, but what's the process? How long is that going to take to get built?
So they're in a tough spot, but because of a lack of just making the decision.
Correct.
I don't care what the outcome was, what would have been, because I know there's a lot of environmentalists out there, yelling at the city council, oh, don't do that, you're going to mess up our bay and blah blah blah. Obviously, if they would have just done it, then you could have actually been seeing if that's the case. And then you can make modifications to that.
Correct.
¿Verdad?
Correct.
But you're at least not in a condition where you don't have water for an industry that could possibly bring revenue to now address this little new issue, ¿verdad?
Yep.
But man, se ahogan en un vaso de agua, decía mi dad. They just, for the life of them, cannot make a decision.
They can, and it's hard. I mean, we've, me as a board member, I'm now the president of the board there at the water district, but us as a board, sometimes there is those hard decisions, right? And it's, man, it costs too much, or man, it's gonna take too long, or I don't like this price, but at some point you have no other option, and things need to get done.
Mhm.
This we recently signed or voted on and signed a contract with the city of Corpus, water district number 3. I was not for it because of a couple of things that were written in the contract, but the rest of the board, hey Ram, we need water now, we need this interconnection now, we need this contract now. I understood them, and I stood my ground. I voted against it, but it ended up passing. But now today, knowing, we signed it January 27th, and look at just this week on the news, what's happened, what's transpired. So, I guess it's good that it did pass. I'll say that.
Yeah. What would you say is like condition of our local government? As far not here in Robstown, but like the Corpus, the ones that are making decisions concerning the water. Están por puertas, no? And no offense to anybody.
Yes. I will see a little bit here and there, or get on, from what the news is shared, and it's just not that they're all over the place, but they all just have different opinions, and it's crazy when you as a mayor and council cannot come up to agree with something. I mean, I pray for them and wish them the best. I really do, but you have to sit down and collectively, I don't like this, but because we need it, I'm gonna vote for it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they're worried about. You can't be worried about the money when the governor's already allocated $750 billion. Yep.
That was news yesterday.
Yes. Yeah. And I guess we've known about it for a little while. I'm in the water, so I keep up with, the water things that are going on. But yeah, he allocated $750 billion. And that's just for that desal. But, I believe Representative Denise Villalobos also gave Corpus $46 million just last year. I want to say it was last year. She gave them $30 million for the water wells.
Water, right?
Yeah, for water wells, and then $16 million or something like that for the Mary Roads pipeline upgrade. So I mean, they can't say they don't have money.
So what have they done with that?
Well, I mean, I'm sure you've seen it all over the news. Corpus is pumping those wells hard. They're
Yeah, and then taking from
the rural
people,
community. Yes,
they are dependent on that too.
And I sat down with the with the ex chief operating officer of Corpus Christi Water. He said, "Hey, Ram, those wells they're temporary, man." When we him and I were talking. Right now they have an interim, but before he left, we talked, and it's temporary. It's temporary, but I mean, it doesn't seem like it's going to be temporary. I mean,
it'll be temporary because they'll run them dry.
Yeah, and it could be that. And I hope they don't. And I wholeheartedly thought that, and think till today, he intended them to be temporary. He did,
Who's that again?
Drew Molly with Corpus. Yeah. He intended them to be temporary. He's a good guy.
Why did he leave?
I can't answer that. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
You don't?
I know he took I believe a better job in Houston. But
se cansó de batallar acá con Corpus, man.
That could be it, but but he lives in rural. I believe he lives in outside of Sandia or something like that. So he lives out in the country, so he knows how it is living off of a water well. But I think he thought when we did these wells, this is temporary. This is a year or 2 years till we get desal, till we get rain, till we get the lakes back up. And
they're just supposed to be supplemental.
Correct.
Worst case scenario. But man.
And it's rough. I don't want to be an armchair quarterback.
Right.
I mean, there's some tough decisions. I mean, you're voting on $1 billion project. I mean, that's a lot of money,
This is what I always say, like when it comes to that. It's not your money, right? Which that sounds bad, but it's not your money
coming out of your budget, or correct.
You've been elected to,
because it is our money.
it's our money. It's not their particular like
coming out of their pocket. Yeah.
You've been elected to do what's best for your constituents.
Correct.
Make a decision, pull the trigger. Like if it goes bad, well, they'll get you out next round, right? But you'll never know if you don't make any decision.
Correct.
Trust me, and I agree with you. Like it's easy from over here to make the decision, because one of the things that I've openly said that I admire about Donald Trump is that the guy can make a decision, and I've been observing that. I've been impressed with him on that since The Apprentice. And once he would focus in on somebody who was going to fire, he'd fire him, and he would never ask his assistants, do you think I made the right choice? Nah, he'd make the decision. Boom.
Yeah.
Dale pa enfrente. Pa adelante, right? And as a leader myself and a student of leadership, I've been studying leadership since I was like 20 years old. So I won't say, well, I'm going to be 51 tomorrow. So
happy early birthday.
Thank you, sir. So that impressed me. Man, that guy can make a decision. And it's not easy. As a leader, you know how hard it is to make decisions. And I can't say that I'm that great at it.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot, and it takes a fine-tuned person that has learned that. Me decía mi tío, I don't know if you remember my tío Raúl Cabrera. Do you remember Mr. Cabrera?
I don't think so.
And my tío decía, you need to make a decision. Whether it's the right decision or the wrong decision. It don't matter.
Yep.
You need to make the decision, because then you'll discover if it was the right one or the wrong one, and then you can make adjustments. But if you never make a decision, you're going to be spinning your wheels all your life.
That's true.
That's something that's stated.
You can either make your decision or not make it and regret it, and I think that's what Corpus is doing right now. They're regretting, man, we should have passed this, man. They should have done something.
The cost only kept going up, right?
Yep. Nothing's getting cheaper.
And then yesterday when I saw that, I was like, wow, what an embarrassment. It's pretty bad, right? When he said that.
It is.
I saw so many people repost it.
And that's the thing, right? You have Governor Abbott that's a Republican. Mm-hmm. But at this point in time, it's not a Republican or Democrat matter, Water is not Democrat or Republican. It's not a political thing. We need water to survive, and I think that mayor and council should, have made that decision long ago on what route they wanted to take. And I don't know the number. They've spent hundreds of millions, towards the water wells and things like that.
So now they're like at an impasse. They're like, there's nothing they can do now.
No.
What's the next step?
Correct. If they vote on desal tomorrow, how many years is it going to be till that plan is in operation?
Producing.
So
what now?
Correct. Get on our knees and pray for it.
That's it.
Honestly.
That's it. Pero se van a humillar or no?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was reading an article that was talking about how even the port back sometime was going to build their own desal.
Correct. I had heard something like that also.
But I guess they were counting on the city to do it.
Yeah.
And I think the city was extra friendly to industry, that they weren't really drawing from them. They were over-promising water to them, and without requiring them to flip a little bit of the cost.
See, and I don't know if a lot of people don't know is that Corpus not only supplies water to industry and to Corpus, I believe they serve 7 counties. They serve 7
That's
counties
right,
around
yeah.
the coastal bend. So you have Jim Wells, you have, San Pat County they serve to, they have Clayburgh County they serve water to. They're 7 county, 7 county provider. So a lot of people are depending on water from them. Maybe 500,000 to 600,000 people are depending on water from them.
So you might be in the talks. Where do they go from there?
I don't know.
That's it. That's it. You said pray
Yeah.
for rain. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
And you would think that's not a reasonable solution, but could be the best solution.
At the end of the day, he has the last word, right?
That's right. We prayed last year, I think it was, Mayor Martinez invited us, asked us to come to the city hall chambers to pray for rain. So myself and some pastors, we went in there, prayed for rain. We got criticized a little bit. The next week it started raining. It rained like for a week.
Yeah.
And todavía así, sometimes la gente no se humilla. They don't humble themselves. Say, hey, if it worked then, why don't we keep doing it?
Correct.
Because there's power in prayer.
When I don't have the answer to something, that's what I do. I may be an elected official, but I don't have all the answers. My community has put their trust in me to try and make the best decisions I can. But when I don't, I reach out to people that I know have the knowledge in that, and, they give me some good information and advice, and I'll sleep on it. And hey, thank you. I think that's one thing with, I feel being an elected official, it doesn't put you up here. Hey, that's an opportunity to serve. You're serving your community. You're serving, you're not, I do this. You're serving. And, a lot of times I have questions, right? And I don't have all the answers. I have questions. So I'll reach out to people and, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? The water wells that are going on in Corpus or on the river right now, I talked to the groundwater conservation group. Hey, well, they go and take samples. Hey, Ram, I'm seeing this. Hey, Ram, I'm seeing that. And we communicate. I don't have all the answers. I have a full-time job, right? I'm a firefighter, so I can't be on the river every day. And that's, I guess, my thing as a board member, right? I don't just show up to meetings once a month and, hey, I'm at the office at least twice a week. What's new? What's going on? Different meetings, kind of like Mayor Martinez was, he was retired. I'm not retired though.
Yeah.
But he was at City Hall every single day and
every day, early in the morning.
Yeah.
Until late.
Yes. And props to him, but yeah, I have a full-time job and I still try and make it over there, to the water office to see what's going on and catch up with the guys, and see if anything's changed.
Yeah. And nothing against our current administration. I don't know how she's doing or anything like that. So it's not a knock on her right now. But
oh no, correct. I wish all of
success,
mayor, council success. If we wish them bad, we're wishing our city bad.
Right. So I've never said that. I hope que todo les vaya bien. But one thing I do say is that I don't think the community appreciated Mayor Martinez. O no sabían, or they just couldn't appreciate what we had in him because the guy was hitting it hard for the community.
It's the community we live in, it's I gave him 2 years, time's up, next, it's hard to get things done. I've been on the board for 8 years and we've done some great things, but everything takes time.
The community wants to see beautiful streets, beautiful neighborhoods, beautiful this, that. But they don't live in the suburbs of Houston.
Correct.
They don't have that kind of revenue.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Oh, they're taking the money and running. I'm like, what money are they running away with?
Yeah.
The guy lives right there in Washington. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that. Oh, they're taking money. Believe me, I wouldn't work multiple jobs
Yeah.
if I was taking money. I mean,
And that's
my vacations are to the Frio River with my family, not to out of state.
right, which are amazing. Those
Yes,
trips.
yes. But those are my vacations. I don't do big, high dollar vacations. I work for the city of Robstown.
I guess I'm not alone then, because we've been criticized of the same thing.
Really?
Oh no, I says puro dinero. I'm like, bro, I'm in Robstown.
Yep.
Like I've had my church here in
Yeah.
Robstown since we got started. I'm not in the south side of Corpus. I'm not in Cal Allen. I'm in Robstown.
Yep.
And because God has placed me here, I believe that God called me here. And if I had a choice or an option, and maybe it wouldn't be here. Maybe I'd go find somewhere that made more economic sense, if you would.
And I get you. There's, me as a firefighter, I can leave just up the road, you know what I mean, and make more money, but I'm proud to work here. I love working here.
Mhm.
On my days off, I'm working. Any big calls, I'm there. I love what I do, and I love who I'm helping, my community. It's
Yeah, you've been about community. I've seen you in a lot of service type positions.
Yes.
You've been involved in
the little
community
league,
service.
yes, community service, things like that. I just wherever I can help, that's where I'll be.
Yeah, that's good, and I'm glad that you have that kind of personality and that kind of mindset, because you when you have that mindset, you don't worry about the naysayers. You don't worry about criticism. We learn to have thick skin. We grow
Yes.
thick skin.
Yep.
And you don't allow that to keep you from helping even the ones that are bad mouthing you.
Correct. You want to know if you have thick skin? Get into politics.
Or any type of service, any type of leadership.
Yes. I mean, you're right.
Because te critican con ganas. The ones that do the least.
Yep. You try to help people, and they'll turn around and
Yeah.
I tried, Lord. I tried. I tried to help them, and I can't make everybody happy. And that's okay. That's okay.
And you have to have that, or else you'll grow bitter against people. You can't go bitter. There was a story about a Christian who's by the side of the river, and he's reading his Bible, and down the river being a scorpion that's on a leaf and getting ready to fall off the leaf and drown. So the young man puts down his Bible, he walks in there, and he grabs the scorpion and brings him to the banks of the river. In the process, he stings him. And the onlookers were like, bro, why'd you do that? Didn't you know that it's in the scorpion's nature to sting? Dijo, yeah, well, it's in my nature to save. So why should I abandon my nature because it won't abandon its nature?
Well, that's powerful.
It is. And when I heard that, I was like, man, in communities like ours, any community, I believe that it happens in all communities, but we serve people because that's in our nature.
Yeah.
It's in their nature. It's in some's nature to bite the very hands that's trying to help.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's their nature. It's my nature to continue to help. They're not going to stop what they do. I'm not going to stop what I do. And so I'm glad that you view it that way, and that I think we should all view it that way.
I mean, there's only one way this community is ever going to succeed, and that's with all hands on deck. That's with everybody helping, and when I came onto the board of the water district in 2018, they would never help the city. The city had events, and they wouldn't get involved. The city had, like what do you call it? The Cotton Fest, and, they wouldn't donate money to help the city, right? The city puts this on, and it's like, hey, we're part of this city. We're alive because of this city. We need to give back some, and we started giving back to the little leagues. I believe a couple months ago, we gave to Dr. Borchard's program
futures.
that we gave to that. I mean, we're here to help. And if we can help, we're gonna do it. And it starts off with our employees. We really do have a great set of employees there at the water district. I mean, a lot of experience, and then the willingness, that they want to serve and they want to work, help this community also. I mean, we help the city with work. We help, wherever we can. We started a program where we demo houses. Hey, you purchase a container, and you know how many abandoned homes there are in the city. And y'all purchase a container, and we'll provide the backhoe and an operator, and we'll demolish it for you. But just to help beautify the city.
Absolutely.
We have to move forward, and we have to do this together.
And we hope that everybody gets involved.
Correct.
And everybody plays a part. Even if it's, dice a mi dad, el que no estorba ayuda mucho.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you're going to help, just get out of the way and you'll be a big help.
Yep.
Right? Don't be criticizing the ones that are doing it. So I agree. I pray that happens. I think that Corpus needs to do the same thing.
Yes.
Even us, like, it's easy to criticize Corpus, but we're kind of one and the same. You know what I mean?
No, we are. And I mean, and look at us right now, right, where we're connecting into Corpus. So even us ourselves, we're relying on Corpus. There's other avenues we're looking at right now, but it's all about money. We've reached out to Representative Denise Villalobos to try to help us with some funds, but I mean, nothing's a couple 100,000 anymore. Everything's over $1 million, 2, 3, 4, 5 million. Everything's expensive. And
the minute you say millions, tienen mucho dinero.
Yeah.
Because they don't understand what it takes.
Correct.
Like, if I only operate in my little world, that figure to me seems outlandish. I mean, it seems extreme. But no es nada.
I saw when, what was it, the GLO, or whenever Mayor Martinez had gotten presented that check.
80 some odd $1,000, 86, I think.
No, it was in the millions, I think. Was it like?
Yeah, 86 million, no?
No, I thought it was like 8 million or something like that.
I don't know.
But regardless on what it was, I was looking at the Facebook.
It's a big check.
Yes, it was. I was looking at the Facebook comments, and people, that's enough to fix all the streets in Robstown. Like, I'm sorry, you got engineering fees, you got this fee, that fee, by the time you're done with it, and 8 million, it really doesn't get you far. It doesn't. We actually approved that on the water district. We applied for a $9 million loan, and we got approved for the loan. And all we have to do is pay back $2 million of the $9 million. So, and that's going towards infrastructure in the city, replacing old and outdated water lines. But
again, that doesn't go very far.
It doesn't go far, but
it's something.
I'll tell you this: we closed on that loan in June of last year. We haven't seen a dollar.
Really?
Yeah, that's how long it takes to get money. So people think like, oh, y'all got the money. When you gonna start doing work? It takes time. It takes time. So, the past mayor, the present mayor, hey, we're there with you. And then, again, I understand everything takes time. Rome wasn't built in a day. Everything. Takes time.
As I was listening to what Abbott said yesterday, and seeing the news that came out, I think it was this morning, that Trump announced a $300 billion refinery project in Brownsville. And I said, why did he not do it here
in Corpus?
And my mind couldn't help but to race to,
there's no water.
well, that, and if I'm Trump, I'm thinking, what incompetency is here in Corpus? I'm not going to put a $300 billion project in an incompetent area like this. They're going to run it to the ground. They're going to destroy it. No tienen agua, no tienen, you know what I mean? I hate to say it, but to me, that was my first thought.
Yeah.
He said, me voy pa.
I'll go a little further south. Yeah.
Over there, SpaceX is over there. Elon Musk is more involved over there. The area is more open to industry. They're not, running them off because it's too close to the, this or that. They gave him practically a whole little area to create his own town. So they're more open for that. But I don't know if you're familiar. I'm sure you are familiar with the Valley. Business-minded I mean, everybody down there tiene un little shop, a little spot.
Yes.
They're very business minded.
They are.
Have you noticed that?
Everybody goes and gets their campaign signs in the valley.
Right.
There's a guy there, boom, boom, boom. Wow, but that's how they are. I mean, they make a little bit of money on this, but they get so much business.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Somebody needs to do Mana se tiene quinceañera. Where do they go get their dresses?
Yeah.
Se van para allá.
Yep.
People were going to build something. They try to go find the stuff over there.
Yeah.
But they're so business minded, and I wish that mentality existed here.
Yeah.
And Corpus is a small kind of city, but it's really not.
Yeah.
Yet it's being run like a rural, and I can't even say that because some rural towns are way more disciplined and well structured than Corpus.
Yeah.
Corpus, like, no tiene rumbo sometimes. Like, why? What are y'all doing? Why don't y'all? It's just.
I mean, I guess my biggest thing is it's just sad that they can't all agree, and you're not always going to have everyone agree, but even a majority, I mean, I guess a majority disagreed, right? Like,
yeah.
But again, back to the water, you have to put your differences aside and what's in the best interest of the community.
Yeah.
And I do get it though, because we met with Corpus, I guess a couple years back when they had first started talking desal, and I think we accidentally got invited to the meeting. I'll say that. So we have senior water rights. So our water rights are older than Corpus's water rights on the Nueces River. But Corpus invited all their partners, I guess that they sell water to, right? All the cities and county leaders. And they're saying, hey, we're going to do this desal, and everybody's paying for it, right? So it's not just Corpus paying for it or the refineries or industry. It's everybody they sell water to. So whether it would have been Sampat County or Jim Wells County or Clayburgh County, they were all going to eat that cost also of this desalinization plant. So, everyone's like, hey, you're all going to take a hit on it. And I think it was going to be a big amount. That's why Alice went to desal. They did groundwater desal. I think Kingsville's doing it now. Like, they don't want that. They don't want to have to pay for that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Corpus is a special place.
And when they started doing these ground wells, and there's another company, a private company that's doing these ground wells or groundwater desalinization, they started doing it, and it's gonna last 100 years, and I don't think so.
No, but that's what they said, like about the shale. Eagle Ford, no, antes trabajo forever.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, boom, it was gone.
Yep.
So people who were banking on several years, they were left high and dry because they were just blowing everything they were getting. No, I remember a particular project that I bring up a lot in Corpus where Landry's wanted to come and do like a Kima little boardwalk type of thing there and on the bayfront. And the city was kind of giving them a hard time. There was another local investor that wanted to do a project there as well. And he said, well, if y'all let Landry's do it, I'm not going to do my project. Y estos, again, per their usual process, were they just couldn't make a decision until finally Landry said, you know what? We don't have to put up with this, man. If y'all don't want us, we'll leave. Yep. And they left.
Wow.
And then the guy that said, if y'all have them, I'm not going to do one.
He didn't
do it either. And that's part of not pulling the trigger, not making decisions. You lose everything. You lose both birds, and it's make the decision, pull the trigger. Yeah. If we would not have Whataburger Field, the hooks, we would not have them had the county not built the Aviator Stadium here in Robstown. We would not have it.
I believe it.
Because for years and years, I think the Ryans were trying to build something, and Corpus just couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
They didn't want it. Back and forth. Let's vote on it. Amazing. And then the Aviators built the stadium here in Robstown. Great success.
I remember being a kid going out there, and my uncles would barbecue out there.
Yeah. Great success.
Yeah.
And I think the city of Corpus saw that. All right, let's let them.
Let's do it.
So then they built Whataburger Stadium.
Let's one up them.
Yeah. And then we lost all the fan base. Todos se fueron para.
Yep. I believe it. And I agree with you. And it's kind of like our outlets, we had the outlets, they took off, but I guess almost everything that our outlets had was in Corpus. Nike, there's Nike in Corpus. There's almost everything that lids, there's lids in Corpus. Bring something that's not in Corpus. Build something that's going to make the Corpus people come to us.
Well, I heard something about that that I don't have the specifics, but I'm going to try to get the person that mentioned it to me here to clarify it. But the outlets were not meant to succeed. They were not meant to succeed. They were, some Chinese needed to make certain investments to qualify for the HB something, certain qualifications to do business here in the United States and trigger some kind of benefits that they would have.
Gotcha.
So they invested the money just to invest it, to qualify.
They knew it wasn't going to succeed or be successful.
They didn't care.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because the way they did that, to me, I'm like, how are you in this business and open up this place with, I think it was 15% capacity.
I think it was in the low 20s or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes, it wasn't very much.
And then no restaurants.
Yeah. Like
nothing to keep the people here.
You're in South Texas. No one wants to go shopping and eat outside from a food truck.
No.
No. Maybe on a Saturday, 8:00 at a festival, you want to eat at a food truck. But yes, it wasn't a great idea. So maybe what you're saying is true. It's sad because it's a beautiful building and it's going to waste.
It's going down.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm glad that they're kind of starting to use it some more.
Yeah. There's a couple of a small business in there, and I hope they're doing good.
Me too. I hope they're doing well, and I hope they're able to pick it up.
Yep.
But it's just, when you walk through there, it's like, wow, how can we allow this to just go down?
Yep.
There's no focus and no concerted effort to say, let's bring this to life. One way or another, let's bring this to life.
People on Facebook joke around, make it a flea market, make it a trade center. If that's what it takes to make money, why not?
Do it. You see those videos on the side of that guy, Bronco 956? I don't know where they're at, but they're in some outside venue. Está así, gente.
Like a Trader Joe's or something.
So I don't know where Trader Joe's is. I've heard a lot about it.
San Antonio,
But they're underneath this outdoor place. And I was like, do it. Do that. Do that. Put, bands and invite.
Whatever it takes to make some money. Yep.
Yeah. And to make it a place where people want to go. But you need food. You need some kind of entertainment. Pero no hace nada. So anyway, when I heard that, I was like, man, that makes sense. So no, it was never meant to succeed.
Yeah, well.
It was just meant to trigger a benefit.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah. So I'm like, wow.
That's sad.
I wish that somebody would have taken it from the get-go and said, even though it's not meant to succeed, it can.
Yeah.
Let's just wait. Let's fill up these stores.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the mindset was like, let's wait to see that the stores were saying, we'll wait to see how they do, and then we'll come in. Like, bro, they're not going to do well with 15 stores.
I think there's like a Toys R Us. I mean, Toys R Us went out of business, I mean, there wasn't those stores that were just going to take off, that they were going to hit.
And again, está bien, just put some restaurants in there that people are going to want to come and eat at. And there was not that. But anyway.
And then you look just to the north, right? And you see Cat Island is just growing.
But there's a lot of jealousy with that too. with the Cal Allen people, a veces no vienen para acá just because it's Robstown.
They just come to MG's Pizza.
When that CGF or GCF or whatever the gymnastics was out here.
Oh, okay.
Phil,
CGA.
Phil was pulling people from all over. Cal Allen, Alice, Kingsville, everywhere. He had people from everywhere. MG's does the same thing.
Yep.
Pulls people. So it can happen. I don't know why, but there's some things that are like, you're not going to go over there.
Yeah.
It's like they see it as competition.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Yep.
But
they're getting an academy and Olive Garden, Outback Steakhouse, I think they're getting.
Really?
Yep.
Olive Garden, donde?
Mm-hmm. Right there, where they're gonna do the academy.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. So there's a Hobby Lobby, Academy, Olive Garden, and
supposedly an Outback. Yep.
Really? They can bring it down a little bit over here.
I'm sad Academy's gonna be there. I don't need to go into Corpus.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Yeah.
But they did that with Party City.
Yeah.
I was happy Party City was there, and then they got rid of it.
Yeah.
But did they close down the Corpus Party City, or that one's still there?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. But we need a Bass Pro Shop.
Yes. I mean, that was supposed to come to Corpus, and then, I don't know if that's the city leaders, or I don't know if that's, on their end, or what exactly it was.
Well, they want to put a vote to everything. Let's vote.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, the only people that show up are the ones that are against it to vote. Everybody else is working. You know what I mean?
And
they're at like 12 noon, and it's
it's crazy, right? You have someone that's against something, they're there loud. And there's a lot of people that are for it, but they don't go and speak up that they're for it,
I don't know if you were aware, but the county was going to give us $750,000 to fix the old Methodist historic
I remember that
building. I was there in one of the commissioners' court. I don't even remember why. I think I was just going to do the prayer, but they were going to kind of discuss it a little bit. Well, there was two ladies there, supposedly from here. One I recognized. The other one I didn't know who she was. I've seen her in the Cal Allen area, pero ahí andaba. And they got up to talk against me. And I'm like, I don't even know y'all. If you go on his website, he says this, that, and the other. And what are they going to do this? And I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, who are these ladies that they're dedicating their life to critiquing things like that? That project with the Methodist Church, I had offered to give them the building as long as they did something with it.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to see it go down on my watch. Historical building in Robstown. No cuidamos nada.
and that's what, a lot of people, they only hear what they want to hear. They only hear a piece of it and not all of it. And, they go and try and correct you or try to speak up against you. And it's like, hey, if you would have asked me about it, I'll tell you what's going on, but they just, Yeah,
we were they were wanting us to kind of justify the gift, right? And so we were going to put in the food bank, which we've done before. And when we were doing it, we were the largest distributor in the coastal bend. So we're going to do that again. We're going to do a warming cooling center. We're going to do childcare and some job training stuff that we had agreed to partner and to do that there for the community. It would have been a relief of about $500,000 a year to the community, right? It's justifiable. Dale. They were going to give us $750,000. So in 2 years, it would have more than paid for what they were doing. But it would have kept up a historical marker in our community. A beautiful marker, right? And it would have benefited the community. But no, he's going to sell it and buy suits. What's the critique? I'm like, come on, people. Like, I think a lot of people, they are coming from their experience and maybe from their own mindset. They know what they would do with it.
Yeah.
So they project it on to you.
Yes.
Yeah. But they didn't know that I had told them, I'll give it to y'all.
Yep.
If it takes that, just sign it over to y'all.
And see, I think, it's kind of like us with the ammonia plant. They didn't know how much, that company was willing to invest
in the community.
into the community, into the water district, to pay for upgrades and to pay for infrastructure. And that was going to be their way to give back,
Mm-hmm.
and start there. And then who knows what they were willing to do with the city, but
Well, we live and learn, right?
yes. And we do. Do I regret it? I don't regret it. Again, uh, there's no water right now.
Yeah. There's no water, and I think any bad situation can make room for good situation. Would it be bad for the state to come in and micromanage, like Abbott said?
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe it would be a great thing.
Yep.
Get it straightened out a little bit, because obviously it's been ongoing for many years.
I think on their water side, they know what they're doing. It's just council making that decision whether are we going desal or are we not. We're gonna keep investing in the water wells. I mean, where do I go, right? I mean, they have a person who runs their water department, right? Their whole water department, and I can't. He knows what he's doing, but it's like, again, I'm sure he's questioning which direction do I go?
Yeah.
And
sometimes you just got to go to God. Not sometimes. You always got to go to God.
All the time.
Always. And ask God for guidance and direction as leaders.
Yep.
The Bible says that when the wicked are rule, then the people groan. But when the righteous rule, people rejoice. So I think it's important, and it's underestimated, the need for godly people in positions.
And it's hard, from the outside looking in, what's taking them so long? Everything takes time, right? You can't just, I got a quote, let's run with it. No, you got to get 3 quotes, and it takes time, and they have to go through engineering, and engineering builds it first, and it goes out for bids or quotes, and it comes to council, and it's all process. It takes months. This is not something that's going to happen overnight, and then once it gets approved, okay, when do they start building, right? I mean, it just, it's a lengthy process, and then same with the water district, everything takes time, and nothing gets done overnight.
Real quick, before we close, I don't know why I didn't mention it earlier, but we had a situation where we had arsenic in our water.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that before we close.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'd love to explain that. Yeah. So, we've been meeting with Corpus, and we've had some issues with arsenic. So we met with them. They brought us their data. Hey, it's not our water wells. It's the lake. The lake's running dry. Everything's at the bottom. Arsenic, which is a metal. So where would metal go? To the bottom, So that's what was causing the higher arsenic levels is us, pulling from the bottom of the river now, or the lake, and it comes into the river. We did verify that their wells are not causing the high arsenic. So with that's what's causing it, and we were able to, I guess, adjust it at our water plant. Our water treatment plant cannot fully treat or get rid of arsenic, so we were able to bring it down to where we're below the legal limit, or where we need to be, where TCEQ mandates us at. And so we're good right now. We just got some results back today. The superintendent there at the water district, he'll email them to me. I say, hey man, just every week take a sample, because they charge us for every sample. But I'm like, hey, every week I want to, I need to give the community some reassurance, hey, I need to see samples, so he's emailing them to me every week. But it started off with, they would give us the results back within a week. Now it's like 2 weeks. So I'm like, well, do I keep taking some? Take them every week, regardless if they send you the sample back. But, some people are like, oh, y'all are doing them in-house and blah, blah, blah. We send them off to Corpus, and Corpus sends them to Houston, I believe, and they get tested in Houston. And then, so that's why it's taking almost 2 weeks now, But
I had a communication with a gentleman that I wanted to have also on the podcast to talk about that.
Mhm.
He was kind of explaining all that stuff and telling me about Trey Cranford.
Oh,
you know?
yes, great guy.
Yeah.
I've become friends with him and his mom, Miss Cranford. They're both wonderful people. I mean, and he's someone I do look up to. When I have questions with the water district and the water wells, he knows these wells, and
Mhm.
he's always a phone call away. You know, we talk at least once a week. So
Yeah, well,
yes, he's good.
I'd like to have him on.
I'm sure he will.
I spoke with him briefly
Okay,
a couple weeks ago, and
very knowledgeable.
yeah, we
He
lost a
is.
little bit of communication there, but if he's available, I'd
Yeah.
like to have him on because just the short amount of time that I was talking to him, he had some really interesting
Yes,
information. I was
he's
like,
good. And again, right, I'm a board member, but I've, I'm not that I need to be in with the how do I say, with the superintendent of the water, with the in the water plan or in the outside, but that's just me. I that's the best way to learn it, right? So
yeah,
I'll stop by the water plan or I'll stop outside with the guys. I'll check on them on water leaks and learn, I mean,
yeah,
it's
absolutely.
it's become a big part of my life being on the board going on 8 years now. So
Mhm.
yeah, no, it's very interesting. Like I said, I just don't sit there at meetings and approve accounts payable and what's new. Let's go home. Like,
Yeah,
it really is. It's been a great experience sitting on the board.
yeah, that's good. You're learning about what you were overseeing.
Correct.
You have to, right?
Yep.
There's some random people just calling shots about stuff they don't understand, but
Correct.
no tiene
I
sentido.
want to know what a project I'm approving and how it looks before, how it looks after.
Right.
It's just how I am. Yep.
Good, man. Well, Ram Alejandro, running for board of directors for the Nueces County Water Control and Improvement District 3. Want to make sure everybody goes out and votes when it's time to vote. This one won't be till when?
So early voting will be April 20th through April 28th, and election day will be May 2nd, right here.
Okay, this is
Yeah.
just around the corner.
Yeah, right here at our water office on
Okay.
501 East Main Street.
All right, so we
Yeah.
want people to go out there and vote and support and
And if you see me around town, you have questions, hey, don't mind stopping me,
yeah. And I know we didn't have a chance. I did want to talk to you about your relationship with God, but we can do that maybe off camera sometime. We'll go have lunch.
Anytime, yes.
Because I know you do. I would love to hear more about it. But Ram Alejandro, thank you for joining me in the
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.